Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Rao. And this week, I'm going to do a kind of a bench update on some of the things I've been playing with here. And mainly because I didn't really focus on some of the muscle cars I have been working on. Just kind of took a off week, and I felt like playing with some other stuff. And I pulled out some that I've been playing with off and on here. And since I actually got somewhere with this one, it seems like I decided I'll show you what I've got going on with this. But first, so you guys know, let me just move this, just kind of miscellaneous scraps. I'm working on what I started with this kit. Now, this is one I got from Hobby Nut Models, our sponsor. And I've had it for a little while now, roughly a year or so. And, you know, I have an older version of this same kit. But I had this, this is a Jimmy Flintstone resin body, the B400. So it's a sedan convertible kind of thing. So you can see the two bodies side by side. But this thing, it said it could be used for either kit. So I decided I'm going to try and work it for this particular Revell kit since I had it. But I also had an AMT 32 Phaeton. But it didn't really fit either one specifically. So I'm like, all right, it does need to be made to fit. Now, I've done a lot of trimming to the body. I've done a lot of grinding on the inside here to thin it out all along on here. So if you've ever messed with a Flintstone body, they can be pretty thick. And I did a lot of grinding in here with my Dremel, just trying to thin it out, smooth it out. In person, you can really see some of this stuff. I don't know how much of it's showing on film. But I've been slowly working on it and then making it fit this chassis, which I wanted to use the fenders and everything. But same thing. I had to grind in here, widen it out, taper it out a little bit so you can see it in those photos here. But really thin it out. And there's a couple of times where I've blown through it. Some of these were just gaps. So I used the putty to fill in some of those gaps. I still got to sand the lettering off at the bottom of the chassis here. But I've been slowly tweaking and playing with it. But there was a lot of grinding that was done here. And same thing with the interior tub here. So you can see I've done a lot of grinding back here, and in the side here. And I blew through the side here on this side. Just getting the interior tub to fit inside the chassis here. So you can see like right here, that's it fitting. And then the floor was kind of open, so I used the Revell floor, ground it up, shaped it, getting it to fit, pushing it out. So now its pegs line up with those pegs, and it's mostly fitting. It still needs to kind of sit down a little bit, but it's not bad. You can see right there that it tapers up just a little bit. So maybe I'll do a little bit more sanding. Since I cut the floor out of it, and brought it down a bit. It doesn't quite fit, but you know, it was fitting, but now I need to trim it a little more right here to possibly get it to sit down a little more. But even the back shelf there is sitting on the shelf. But in mock-up, it seems to fit fairly nicely. So, and then I had the same thing going on with this. I put in a firewall, just a piece of, that's why the styrene sitting right here. This is kind of like my scraps, but I used this thick piece, a piece of it, to make myself the new firewall. And it has this recessed piece in here, which I think I still have to use because the engine kind of sits into it. I have my built up, this one's built pretty much box stock. I've shown this one on the channel, but you can see the engine sits inside that pocket a bit. And I pretty much want to use the same flathead that I used here, this exact same engine. So I was looking at, you know, what you need to do to get it to fit, some of the parts that fit, just looking it over. And the only thing I remember doing to this one is switching out the wheels and tires, or not the tire, I can't talk. I switched out the tires. Those wheels are in the kit, but I switched to the white wall tires, and I believe I got these from Model Haus, and I'm pretty certain I have one more set of them, but I didn't look yet. But I haven't decided if I'm going to use white walls on this build or not, or just go with the black walls. This thing's a little dusty and dirty. Hasn't been out of the display case since I filmed it a few years back, so they get a little dusty in there. But I had so much fun building these, and it's a nice little break. But this one, I wanted to replace this body with this one. So that has been the challenge. Also back here, this is some more of the epoxy putty, which using it, I get it to fill in the gaps there so you can kind of see it was not fitting and I wanted a nice snug fit. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, that's there. And I've slowly shaped it as far as how I want it to fit here, fits there, and whatnot. Now I just need to body work this part of it, smooth it out and round it out. But it's fitting to an acceptable level, and a lot of trimming and stuff's going on. With the firewall in place, now it kind of sits square. You can see where it's sitting, and you know, I can cut that out and put the recessed part in there. But this was much bigger than this one. If you put the two noses together, you can see the difference, especially if I put one next to another. So you can see how much of a different, you know, taper it is. So that poses its own challenge. It's about the same length out, but the body sits a little bit. So it's really, really close and tight because I want to still use the hood. But this is a little flatter up here, so it's got a different radius here than this one. Another thing, if I put them nose to nose, you can kind of see, maybe, one comes up a little more than the other as far as the roundness, but hard to see, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is fitting really nicely to everything now. So pretty happy with how this is going. Still gonna have to fit glass to it, figure that out, because none of the chrome windshields fit in this. This is a much more square piece of glass, so I probably need to cut something, figure something out there. These windows shouldn't be too bad, but I still got a lot of cleanup to do in those areas. But one of the things, if you're wondering why this is this way, even though I've got this fitting in here, now part of the problem is it was still coming up high. Now this is showing really high. But if I get it, let's get it lined up here with the pegs. Okay, so there we go. So now it's lined up on the bottom side in the pegs. And then I push it down and hold it. You can see some of the window there. All right, still a little high on the inside. So I've decided, looking it over, my solution there is going to be, now you can see there's really no upholstery pattern up here. Nothing showing anything. So I figure if I cut it down, round it down here, and then re-round everything to be the new top so I could have it taper down and then come down, I can get it to clear the windows and then just re-round all of this stuff. And the other thing I need to do, try and do, is see if I can pull these out to meet up with the body, because there is quite a bit of a gap. So I want the door panels to be closer to the doors, but I need both sides to do it. So I've got to heat them and pull them out to match the body, because there's a good 1/8 of an inch thick there. Now the window may hide that some too. So I think that's probably going to be my next step, is to get it swelled out to where it meets the body a little bit better. Maybe you can see from the bottom the gap there. So get that to swell out and fit everything. And I've got some ideas there too. I may take some square plastic styrene and make spacers to just push it out, just to give me an idea what I got to do. And I still got to make the dash fit. The dashes don't fit this either. So I got to figure that out. So a lot of challenges, but just taking a little bit at a time here, picking away at it, and just having some fun with it. But I got pretty far on this, but I spent a lot more time on it than I was thinking I was going to spend this weekend. But I'm pretty happy with the results, even though it's one that I wasn't really working on. You know, the other ones I've been wanting to touch, the Ramblers, I didn't really do much to those. I did prime them. I actually primed them last weekend. I want to do a little bit more sanding on them, get them prepared. But one that between the two. Now, this one, Okay, yeah, another one I've been working on and I really haven't been showing on the channel, but it's a result of the channel here. We'll get this, the 76 Gremlin X right here. So this started with the question of why don't I use this motor in the SC Rambler package. So I had pulled it out to compare the engines, and while I was at it, decided I was going to put it together, kind of mock it up, and I painted the motor. So the motor got painted, and it's all that's where it started. But since I had the kit out, I was looking it over and going, oh yeah, okay, what's in this kit and what's going on. So I started looking it over and just started working on it here and there, and I had an idea what color I was going to do anyway. So I painted the engine compartment. This is just like flat sea blue, just testers. I thinned it, airbrushed it. So, you know, the tub is ready. Put the automatic console in there, which is black. The pedals are black, but I haven't detailed any more than that. Whole underside painted black. Anywhere that's visible through the chassis, same thing, so that it all appears black. Pretty simple kit. So, and then, you know, got the, you know, seats, of course, detailed. Dash needs to be detailed, so there'll be some black in there, and then, you know, some of the chrome accents, steering wheel. I painted the center of the horn black, but that's about it. So a little bit of playing around with that. Chassis is all painted black. The whole engine compartment's painted white and clear coated. So that's all gloss clear coated. And somewhat detail painted, but not much. I haven't done any of the rest of the detailing. But same thing, it's when I feel like working on something to break the monotony. So, and then here's the hood, which, you know, both sides are gloss coated. And this is ready for a little bit of foil and everything. And then I got the body ready as well. So, and then I shot it, scale finish is white. One of the whites I have, just one of them I had laying around. I'm not really sure 100% what color this is. May not be 100% accurate for an AMC. Let's just put that anywhere. Biggest pain was painting the blue section here, because I wanted to do it that way. A lot of the X's were done this way. So I masked it off, shot it with the Ford engine blue, the dark blue or corporate blue, and masked it all off. But I couldn't get in that radius just right. So what I ended up doing was, after I had masked it all off, was get my polishing compound and a Q-tip and just kept rubbing it off till I got the blue off of the white and got that nice crisp line. And really happy with the way it came out and followed it. There's be a really tiny little pinstripe that should go around it. I wasn't able to duplicate that, so I kind of left it. It's hardly noticeable on the real car too. Depends on, you know, how close up they are to the real car. So, and I put the X stripes on the side over the white. Really like these stripes. They look really cool. So pretty happy with the way those went. The only thing happened is when I cleared it, for some reason, it started to wrinkle just on this side right here and right on the decal, but it didn't get any worse. But I'm going to leave it alone. I thought, you know, I could color sand it, polish it out, maybe put a little bit more clear on it. But, you know, being this wrinkling, you know, there's always a risk that it could just peel off and I'll have an empty, you know, the decal just peel right off of the base. I'm not sure what happened there. But I don't have another set of these decals. So I'm like, not, and it's only if the shine hits it just right can you see it. So I was like, you know what, I'll just leave it alone. Don't always show some of my flaws and some of my kits, you know, but I'll point that one out to you. It's like, oh, it happened to me. But it's only on the decal, nowhere else. So some sort of reaction. Why only that one spot? I don't know. Washed it very carefully. But it does happen. Happens to all of us at some point in time. But it has to do with, you know, how you handle it. I got a little bugger right there on the stripe here too, like a little piece of hair or something. But got to do a little bit of bare metal foil on the windows and the taillights and some of the stuff. And, you know, this will be going together. But I haven't really been stressing on this one. But it's a whole lot farther than I expected it to, just playing around. Kind of like the Coronet RT I showed you is one that I worked on here and there. And then next thing you know, it's done. This is going to be the same way. It's not going to take much at this point. The whole inside of the headliner is all done in the dark blue and the black, blacking it all out. Because there's a lot of gaping gaps when you put this together. So, and that's just, you know, the quality of the tooling from, this goes back to 76. And I did find my 75 model kit. I have that one as well. But I couldn't find it, and just trying to remember what was different between the two. But it was mainly the nose, grill assembly and everything. So just trying to remember what was different between the two kits. But having some fun with these and some of these projects. So figured I would do a bench update, show you some of the stuff that I'm not really building, if you can call it that. But wasn't focusing on the channel, but just playing with, you know, different projects and different challenges here. And like this one, I got pretty far on, which I didn't expect to do, but brings up some more challenges. But, you know, if I've committed myself to the flathead, I've got to remove these mounts and glue the flathead mount in the front. Otherwise, I can go with the street rotted V8. But I think I'm going to go with a little bit more of a vintage look with this one. You know, even though this one's got a vintage look as well, but haven't decided on colors or anything on this one. But that's how some of the stuff goes. It'll be a while before this gets any farther, but now I've got some trimming to the interior, to the rails there, just to thin it all down and figure out some more of this stuff on this. But that'll kind of do it for today. Just give you an idea of what I've been up to. But thanks you guys for your comments, likes, shares, subscribe, and all your support. Really do appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.